Hey everyone, just quick video because I haven't done something like this in quite a while. I have a couple failed storage devices in front of me. I've got a MiniDV tape, I've got a white label Western Digital 1 terabyte, and I've got a really nice 2 terabyte WD Gold. I'm gonna be taking them apart, seeing if I can find out what went wrong with them. These two drives, they work, they spin up, but they show up as raw or unformatted in the computer and they won't format. And this tape, I loaded into my camera, it says there's not a tape loaded, and then it jams when I try to take it out. So all of these are unfortunately perished, but that means we get to see inside them. I've never disassembled a WD Gold before. This is pre-Hitachi WD. So this is just a year or so before they moved to using Hitachi's Ultrastar chassis for their high-end server drives. So this is designed on the same chassis as like the WD Green and the WD Blue and all of that. It's their original in-house design. And it dates back to the Caviar series in the 90s, when this body first started to be used. So WD Gold was the best type, like the best series, the best branding of drive made in this particular chassis. There are all of the visible screws I have. Yep, I have a feeling there was one there. I feel like that's a thicker label than normal. Well, let's crack it open. Oh my god. That is well sealed. Ugh. Oops. Just dropping everything today. Wow. That is quite the seal. It feels like there may still be a screw on the spindle, maybe? Or maybe it's just an exceptionally strong... No, it's just an exceptionally strong seal. Ooh, that's a pretty nice looking drive. I will say, it doesn't look quite... Oh, hi! There's my camera. There's me. Oh god, I look awful from that angle. It doesn't look quite as nice as the Hitachi drives on the inside. It's not quite as perfectly made. Got a lot of dust around here, so... Yep, the rubber doesn't go all the way to the edge. You have a actually pretty small air filter here, but a lot of room to put a bigger one. I think I see some magnets down there that are going to look really nice. So, oh, speaking of tiny air filters, that's a pretty small one too. So, there's no, like, obvious problem with this drive. All of the stuff on the platter is stuff that's fallen on there since I've opened it. But, yeah, there's no, like, obvious and terrible head crash. Gold! So not only is the drive gold... Oh my god, they're exactly the same color. Well, not exactly, but the WD Gold branding is the same color as the, like, more gold-looking electromagnet there. You've got... Whoa! What? Seriously? 2 platters? Just 2. You've got a decently robust head assembly, but those are spaced really far apart. I thought in a 2 terabyte drive it would be less dense. Like spread across maybe 4 platters? But no, I guess in 2017, 500 gigs per side wasn't unfeasible. Those are also really thick platters too. We might come back to this drive, but I honestly want to look at this MiniDV tape first. So you gotta find the zoom on this camera. There it is. Yeah, so this is a Panasonic 60-minute. And when they say 60-minute, they actually mean 63-minute. There's the switch that opens, and MiniDV has a really cool design. So the protection, the little shutter, slides back over the top of the disc. Whoa, not disc, tape. So really nice system there. There's your tape exposed. I'm shooting on the same version of Panasonic tape right now. I have a couple of these. And there you go. There are the guts of a MiniDV tape. There's your supply reel, there's your take-up, and this is a clip that when it's put into the camera, when the tape is put into the camera, this clip is released, and it holds the reels, holds the little reels of tape in place while it's out of the camera to keep the precise tape position. So you're not wasting tape or having it slide and wobble around and stuff. Is this an air filter? What is this guy? What are you? Just part of the lock mechanism, I guess. That's more gold-looking tape than I was expecting. It's also pretty thin. It feels thinner than what you would get in an audio cassette. I'm gonna regret that later. Okay, and now on to the worst of the bunch. I might come back to these hard drives in a second, but I just want to get the platters exposed. Now this, I do believe, is a Western Digital drive. I don't know what year, because it's a white label, so all of its smart data was wiped and redone. And its name and firmware has been changed, but its body style, its whole chassis style, perfectly matches a mid 2010s, late 2000s WD drive. Whoa. Well, that's something I've never seen. That is a pretty crazy design for the airflow guide. Is this one platter? One platter for 1 terabyte. So, and it looks like it has the same gold coil for the electromagnet. So it's a very, very similar body design to this WD Gold, actually. Well, the inside of the head here looks different, but they both share in common 500 gigs per side of the platter, and I don't think this is an SMR drive. It didn't behave like one. Here's another pathetic air filter. That's a shame. Hi! There's my little guy. We're gonna take this massive piece of plastic off. I've never seen one that big and thick. It takes up the space of 2 platters. Is that plastic? Yeah, that's just a thick piece of plastic. That's hilarious. I've never seen one that massive. And then you've got a metal one down at the bottom, why? No, okay, no. I was wrong. It actually does have 2 platters, but they're arranged as if this were a 4-platter drive. So that's kind of funky. So it's 250 gigs per side, and then you've got this extra head. I guess this could have been at max a 1.5 terabyte chassis. They could have added another double 250 gig platter here and the correct head configuration for that. Controller boards look pretty different between these two, given their age. I want to see if the WD Gold is built like a real server drive, or if it's built like Seagate's lame, pathetic, horrible excuses for server drives that are just Barracudas rebranded. We'll see what its controller and RAM and all of that on the board look like. Ooh, thermal padded. That's a good sign. And it looks like we have an exposed die. Yes! Yes, we have a tiny silicon die on the controller board. Oh, I don't think I could focus at that length. Yeah, so we have a Nanya memory chip. And then the main controller is probably the coolest looking one I've ever seen. It's pretty rare that you get one with an actual exposed die like this. So yeah, it is built like a proper server drive. That's a good controller. There's your motor controller up there. We'll bring in this one just for comparison of what they usually look like. I assume this one won't have a very nice looking controller board. It's kind of a shame that WD Gold died, because taking it apart, it seems like a pretty damn decently built drive. Its air filtration isn't the best, doesn't have the greatest intake. But other than that, yeah, so this is usually what you get. This is DDR2 or DDR3 RAM from looking at the package, and this is DDR1 or maybe just like SDR. So yeah, definitely a faster RAM to go with this faster controller, and it also has more of it. So yes, this is a much older RAM chip, a much weaker controller, and there's your little motor controller, also not as beautiful and pretty and nice and sophisticated as the one on the WD Gold. It's also an older drive, so that does come into play a little bit. That's just it. Wanted to take apart some hard drives, show you what's in them, and take apart that MiniDV tape before I responsibly recycle them, as you should with all of your used electronics. But that's it for this one. Figured you might enjoy, because I haven't done something like this in quite a while. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and that you come back and watch some of my other, longer, more in-depth, and more interesting content.